Welcome, everyone. Good boy, Tucker. This is learning at its most fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Building Your Tech Stack with Redtail CRM. I'm your host, Austin Johnson, trainer and subject matter expert here at Redtail Technology. Today, we have our friends from TimeLyft to talk about tracking time spent on clients. As an advisor, we know it's important to know how much time is being allocated to each client, particularly if you have a fee-based or hourly fee schedule. So today, we're going to learn how the integration with TimeLyft can help us to receive better data about just how much time we're spending on each of our clients. And so today I have Vito from TimeLyft here to give us an introduction to TimeLyft. Vito, good afternoon.
Afternoon, good to see everyone. My name is Vito Grammatico. I am the CEO and founder of TimeLyft. And TimeLyft, it's an application, a web application to track time spent with clients so that you can really maximize your profitability. And that's something I'm going to go into a bit more and show you a bit of a demo. And then, I'd be happy to kind of meet with anyone afterwards as well. So I'll share some information. You can reach out to me as well.
Perfect. And Vito, if you could just kind of give us a summary, like how did TimeLyft come to be? Can you tell us a little bit about your company and what you guys attempt to do?
Yeah, so TimeLyft came about really from just consulting with various wealth management firms, really just kind of hearing them out in terms of what was needed for their business. And a lot of the time it came down to just being accountable for the amount of time that goes into each of their clients relative to revenue streams. So I worked kind of, consulting, brick and mortar, just going in there and kind of helping them. But I felt there was a need for an application to really help them kind of stay on track and also just to be able to, optimize it as much as possible. And that really led to the software being developed. And, we developed a web application consulting with hundreds of advisors actually across North America, and really just going through the beta testing and then now finally the finished product, which is now available. So Redtail was a really important part of that. The CRM system's great, and it was one of the first things we wanted to integrate with to be able to just kind of pull that information in TimeLyft. So
Awesome. So if you had to summarize it, what do you feel like is the big value for the advisor as far as tracking time spent?
Yeah, the biggest thing is really, so you find a lot of the time is just being able to compare your clients and understand your business model. So looking at that quantitatively, just looking at, okay, this is a breakdown of each one of my clients. I've done this with them. This is what I need to do. And having that in a system is so useful just to see what's going into it every month. And, accountability as well, because sometimes depending on which state you're in, you really need to be accountable for those hours. So based on your fees, how many hours are you putting into those clients? Does it line up with the amount of value you're providing? And this is a great system to do that for you. So showing, legislative boards, okay, this is what I've done if it comes down to that, right? So
yeah. And sadly, sometimes it does. So, awesome. Could you give us just a demo of sort of how TimeLyft works and how it integrates with Redtail?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am going to hop into the application now to show everyone in real time how it works. And it's very simple to use. We offer free trials as well. But this is TimeLyft right here. And the idea is really that you're going to be able to integrate with Redtail to pull in data on the activities you're tracking with your clients, the clients you have in Redtail. There's some manual features as well, but really that main feature is to be able to pull that information from Redtail that you're already tracking and be able to pull that into into TimeLyft for really an evaluation of how much time is going to each client. And there's a lot of insights I'm going to go over with you, but I really wanted to start there. What it comes down to is if you're using Redtail, it's actually really simple to use TimeLyft. All it comes down to is importing that data from Redtail. And in the interface for TimeLyft, really, there's a few options here. There's our dashboard, an overview of everything you have in our system. Inputs is really where you're going to capture that information on your business, and then insights is where you're going to be able to see how that looks in terms of various metrics that I'll go over shortly. So the first thing you want to do is when you're integrating with TimeLyft with your Redtail account, when you sign into TimeLyft, you just go to inputs here and go to import data. And when you go here, you're going to go to Redtail. And all you have to do is really, first of all, put your username and password. And once you do that, it saves in here. And every month you can just come in here and just literally just save and import. But the first thing you're going to want to do is import your client list. So any contacts you have in Redtail and pull them into the system. So all you do is kind of click that off once you have your username and password, and you just save and import. So once you do that, your client list will be pulled into the system. And I'll show you in 1 second how that looks. And you can see here it's successfully imported. And just going over to inputs again and client list, you'll see that now there are all the clients or contacts that you have from Redtail in the system here. So it'll pull in the first and last name. If there's an email and phone number, it'll also pull in that data just for convenience for you. And obviously that's one part of it, but you also want to be able to import any activity or tasks you have associated with those clients too. So by going back into import data in Redtail, you can click client tasks and activity. And I recommend just doing one at a time, just so that you can really just optimize it and get it in there as quickly as possible. But you have the option of clicking off both. But every month, what you just do is come in, it can only be once a month if you want, or it could be, as many times as you'd like. And you just save and import data for client tasks and activity. And once you click on that there, what it'll do is it'll pull in every task and put it in TimeLyft in terms of how much time for each of those tasks and show you how that breaks down for every client. So I'm just going to hop over here and show you now how that looks in terms of basically a client breakdown. It's going to show every single client in terms of how it breaks down. And, it starts here with, and actually, sorry, it's just importing there. But yeah, so it's going to start with that. And it's going to show a breakdown of how many hours for each of those individuals. And also insights are something that's going to kind of give a high level overview too of your business and how that looks. So it's going to provide a really great overview of that as well. So when we're in inputs here, and like I said, now that that data has been imported, you go to activity tracking and client tasks. And the idea is that it's going to show here, you can see a list of all the clients and how much time has gone into them for that month. And as you click them, you can actually see how that breaks down. So this first individual here, for example, you can see, okay, research portfolio holdings, 3.5 hours on November 4th. You can kind of see that all in here. Now, you also have the option of importing revenue data, and that's a great feature because it'll show you the hourly profitability of all your clients. And revenue data is something that obviously every firm's got a different kind of way of calculating that. Sometimes it's assets under management, sometimes it might be a flat rate fee, whatever it might be. We like to leave it open-ended so that users can really use that based on how their business tracks that. A great way is if you have an Excel sheet with that tracked for your clients, you can import that into TimeLyft. And I'm just going to do that really quick here. Upload a spreadsheet with all that data in here, so that it'll also pull in the revenue, so that we can see some profitability ratios as well. So, and there's a sample here too to show you how it should be formatted. It's very simple. It just needs to have a column with the names, a column with the values. So that's it. So I'm going to upload that right here. And if we go back here, we're going to be able to see that now there is all this revenue data here added for each client. So with that in mind, we kind of saw, okay, you can see the time breakdown here in terms of each client, right? So in client tasks, again, you can see a breakdown of every single client, how many hours relative to revenue here. And if we go into insights, which is the other part here, it'll actually give a great overview of all of your time for the month and kind of how that looks. So it'll show you each task, how much time going to each of them. It'll also show you, if you have revenue, client categories. So it'll actually show you, okay, based on revenue, what are my top clients and how does that look for hours put into each category? So you also see a capacity level rating, like, okay, like based on how many hours I'm putting into my clients, how much capacity do I have left for other, administrative duties or, maybe onboarding new clients. In this case, this individual here would have a lot of free time relative to the month. Keep in mind it's early in the month, so as the month goes on, right, it's going to increase how much time you have. So that's one part of it here, but there's actually several different types of insights that can be accessed. And one of them is client overview, which will give a breakdown of the profitability of each of your clients. So it'll show down here a bar showing all of them in terms of how they break down. And you can also show the categories. So if top clients, for example, how that looks and how they compare to each other. And then down here, you'll see actually hourly profitability in the table here. how many hours go into each client for the month, and it'll show a great overview of that. So every month you can come in here, you can say, okay, this is the hours I'm putting in, this is the revenue, this is the hourly profitability, and really see where your time's going, what clients are benefiting. And also, like, if you're trying to match up the value you're providing to the amount of time you're spending on these clients and the value they're getting, this is a great way of showing that. If you're getting this amount of money and you're putting this many hours, what does that break down per hour? And like I said, if in terms of legislation, if you need to back that up, this is a great way of doing that. You can just pop this up, print it, and just you have that ready for you, and you have it ready to show, and it'll store in here every month. So every month you can come in here and see this overview and compare that. So those are some of the insights as well that's provided by TimeLyft in here. And there's also revenue insights as well, and growth insights. As you use the app, it'll show as well similar features as this in terms of how that looks in terms of profitability. So that's really like a very high level overview of TimeLyft there. There are other features as well. I won't get into them today, but they are available if you want to dig deeper into TimeLyft. We kind of mentioned client categorization. You can set the ranges for revenue that clients would fall under. The system will automatically categorize those clients based on the revenue you've input every month. There's also activity planning if you want to plan out your year. And there's also manually inputting things if you ever want to, for example, let's say for a particular client, you're meeting with them and you just want to time them. Well, you can do that. You can just add a task here for the client, and you can start a timer, as you can see here, and it'll time it. You can stop it whenever you're done, and it'll add it in the system. So you have that feature as well. But like I said, if it's in Redtail, you can import it immediately, come in here a few seconds every month and get those really great insights in terms of where your time is going and how profitable your business is.
Awesome, Vito. I really like that timing feature too, because I know sometimes it's tough with the activities to try to like match up, like, okay, put this for, I spent exactly 53 minutes on this item. But like, I mean, sometimes you don't always know, but that timer feature there can definitely be kind of set it and forget it. And then when you're finished with your work, go ahead and log it. Awesome stuff. Vito, if we want to learn more about TimeLyft or get started with TimeLyft, where should we go?
Yeah, let me just pull it up here. So you can go to TimeLyft.com to basically kind of see our website here. And I'm going to provide this as well to all users, these slides here. It's just an overview of what I just went through in the app in screenshot form, and as well as just an explanation that we were discussing. But in terms of if you want to get more information, TimeLyft.com, you'll see right there. And you can contact me directly at vito@timelyft.com. And like I said, I will follow up with everyone. Just send them the slides. You'll have my email. And yeah, reach out anytime. I'm happy to set up a demo and give you a free trial of the software.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for showing off TimeLyft. And so again, folks, if you're interested in getting started with TimeLyft, head up to TimeLyft.com, or you can email Vito directly at vito@timelyft.com. Thanks again, Vito.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks to everyone for attending, and looking forward to talking to everyone. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.